From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-631-1754. 800-631-1754. 800-631-1754. That's 800-631-1754.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
This is the Slate, presented by VIP Play.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do.
This is like the luck of the Irish, only I'm not Irish.
Changing 500. I think I want my money back.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Welcome in live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us. With Max Pennell and Tyler Barbaras, I'm William Pattison, joining you on this fine Wednesday evening from Knoxville, Tennessee. Plenty to cover over the next hour as we get you ready for all the gambling action tonight, and we'll also recap what we did last night on the books, as well as looking into Game 6 of the NBA Finals a little bit later on, as that one tips off tomorrow night in Indiana. And as always, we'll have our best bets at the end of the show to get you in on the action tonight. But first, let's introduce the crew. And back to the show, back to the Fan Run radio airwaves, is Max Pennell. Max, happy to have you back, man.
Happy to be here, William. Thanks for having me on, and let's make some money tonight.
Let's do it. Max had a great segment back when he was on Overtime called Max Out Your Winnings, and now he gets to use it to his full potential on the Slate. So really excited for that. Tyler, how are you on this Wednesday?
I'm good. Could have been a little bit better. Got into a little accident earlier today on the highway. But outside of that, feel good. And sun's beaming, ready to talk some shop with you guys here about best bets and all that good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, let's dive right into it. We'll begin with about last night. And look, a very light night for me. Did not have any wagers. I told you to lean on the UCLA-Arkansas under, but there were no plays specifically for me yesterday. And all we had was Tyler's ticket. So, Tyler, your recap from yesterday. And keep in mind, folks, he hit a Nerfy when we were live on air yesterday. So he started off 1-0 heading into the night. Tyler, how'd you finish?
Finished 2-1 on the day. That Pirates-Tigers Nerfy cashed at about the 650 mark towards the top end of the hour on the show, so that was great to see. I always love making money when I'm here on air with the fellas. And then we also had Reds first 5 money line, which hit at -130. My analysis was pretty good on that. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning to win that bet 4-1. And then I also had the Guardians-Giants Nerfy. That was the later game. Was pretty confident about that one. And I actually said this yesterday that I didn't know if Rafael Devers was going to play or not. He ended up playing, and he ended up being a big reason as to why that Nerfy didn't hit. His first plate appearance, he singled. He ended up scoring a run there. So if Devers didn't get on base, I think we would have had a 3-0 sweep, but we definitely take 2-in-1 days.
Good stuff from Tyler. A much-needed bounce back after you had talked about yesterday. You might have to try it out again today, because yesterday you said, I'm just going to tell you the analysis, I'm going to tell you the picks, but I'm not going to tell you to take it. And that might be the new recipe, the new formula.
Yeah, it might be the new meta. We do have a 6:40 first pitch game, and we also have a 6:45 first pitch game. So if the value's there, maybe I will slightly encourage a Nerfy, but I will not tell you to take it. So I'll look at that, and I'll get back to you guys later on those bets.
Yeah, the Nerfy bets have been a fan favorite among the listeners, and it was pretty cool getting to watch one cash yesterday. Max, I'll kind of introduce your expertise a little bit as we got a couple of minutes before we get into tonight's slate. But obviously, you know a lot about a lot of different sports. MLB right now is something you're really passionate about. Now, he's a Pirates fan, whether that is a by choice or just by fandom, or maybe both these days.
I wish I had a choice.
Exactly.
I was born into that, sadly.
Exactly. But I guess just share with the listeners kind of the expertise you're going to give over the next couple of weeks, months, and what's to look for from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very big baseball fan, super passionate about baseball. Obviously, that's, after this week, that's really all we're going to have for at least a month and a half. So that's right, my bread and butter. Huge NFL fan as well, college football. Really love all sports. Gotten more into the NBA this year as well. I've really enjoyed this playoff, so that's been fun for me to kind of be my introduction to that. But love talking baseball. I probably know too much about baseball. It's probably a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing.
And yes, I am a longtime suffering Pirates fan. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, and we're in for another long year again this year.
And on the topic of the MLB, last week, Tyler, we looked at the future odds provided by VIP Play to win the World Series pennant. And 2 teams you talked about that you thought had some pretty good value a couple of weeks before we head into the All-Star break. The Chicago Cubs were one of them, and the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers at plus 750, the Cubs at plus 1,200. Max, who is a team maybe outside of the top couple of teams, like the Dodgers and the Yankees? Obviously, those are the top 2 teams to win right now in terms of betting value. But when you look kind of down the list, is there a team that you could possibly think could catch some wind in their sails heading into postseason and possibly end up winning this thing?
I'm big. I'm very high on the Phillies. I think they have a rotation that is built for October. Zach Wheeler's he's going to give you a chance no matter who you're facing. Jesus Luzardo's been better this year. Ranger Suarez has come back, been very good. Christopher Sanchez. So they got 4 guys they can throw out there that can match anyone else's for. The lineup's good. Veteran guys. They kind of know this is their last ride. It's one of those teams that has a lot of impending free agents at the trade deadline. They're going to go all in to try to win this year. They know, hey, Harper's a year older. So-and-so might be off the roster, Schwarber, etc. So I think they're a team that, right now I'm not confident they'd win the World Series, but they have the makings of a roster that could, and you could get value on them right now before they possibly put it all together.
Tyler, what do you make of those comments?
Yeah, I agree with it. The Phillies are one of those teams that have just been so consistently good for the past 5 years, but they can never win that World Series. We've seen them get there. We've seen them be really close to getting there and very close to winning it, and they have never been able to get over that hump. I think this year, if the Phillies do want to be holding up that trophy, they are going to have to go in, add a bullpen arm, maybe another outfielder. I know there are some names circulating there like Taylor Ward, Cedric Mullins, maybe a Marcell Ozuna, but I doubt that in-division trade actually happens. But yeah, the Phillies are just so consistently good. I love the Zach Wheeler take. He's awesome. They have a couple young guys coming up in their farm too, like McAble, who's really been a helpful starting pitcher for them. Not going to say great, but he's been helpful. Eats up innings, and he generates a lot of swing and miss stuff. But yeah, I think the Phillies are one of those teams that you always have to keep an eye out for in October because you know that they'll get there.
The Phillies with the 5th best odds to win the pennant on VIP play, sitting at plus 1,200, tied with the Chicago Cubs. And we'll continue to monitor these future bets, as obviously there's still a little bit of a ways away until the postseason begins, but never too early to place a little bit of value on a team you really covet. All right, when we come back in the second segment, we'll look at tonight's slate. We'll have Tyler's ticket. We'll have the introductory max out your winnings tonight as well. And we'll also take a look at NBA Finals Game 6. Plenty to cover on the other side. Stay right here. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross-country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood. But did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
What's the difference between an ordinary EV and a Mercedes-Benz EV? The feeling. Electric is what gets you there. Mercedes-Benz is what moves you in ways no other automaker can. Feel the freedom of the superbly versatile 7-seater EQB. Revel in the inspired, customizable comfort of the EQE sedan. Sense the brilliant intelligence of the EQE SUV. Discover the boundless capability of the EQS SUV. And luxuriate in the flagship meets spaceship magnificence of the EQS sedan. Every Mercedes-Benz electric vehicle offers the very latest MBUX voice-activated AI software, as well as remote access to a whole host of functions via the Mercedes Me Connect app. The vehicle's electric, the feeling all Mercedes, the choice all yours. Test drive a Mercedes-Benz electric today at your local dealer or learn more at MBUSA.com/EQ.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
All right, back here on the Slate, presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us, whether it be on the free Fan Run Radio app, 105.7 FM or 1340 AM right here in Knoxville, Tennessee on the local dial, or on the X/YouTube live stream. However you're listening or watching, we do appreciate your time. Now time to dive into tonight's slate, and we'll begin with Tyler's Ticket, presented by VIP Play. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. When you make your first bet of $5 or more, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets, and new and more convenient deposit and withdrawal methods are coming soon. So the next VIP Play app update will be a great one and continue to upgrading the betting experience. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. Coming off a hot night on the Nerfies, it's Tyler's Ticket.
Welcome back to Tyler's Ticket, ladies and gentlemen. A day where we went 2-1 yesterday, looking to build on it. I would have loved a nice clean sweep, but sometimes you don't always get what you wish for. But I have two strong plays, and then I also have kind of a long shot home run parlay that I haven't done here yet.
Okay.
I'll actually start off with that, with the home run parlay. I got James Wood to hit a home run, and I got Gunnar Henderson to hit a home run. That's at plus 2,300 odds, 2,364 to be exact. Really like the value here. James Wood has been swinging a hot bat as of late. He's hit 2 home runs in his last 5 games. Gunnar Henderson, on the other hand, hasn't really had that power surge that we expected him to have this season after a year where he hit 36, 37 home runs last year. But I do think Gunnar has been hitting the ball really, really hard. The Orioles are facing Taj Bradley tonight, a right-handed pitcher. Gunnar Henderson mashes right-handed pitching. He's been hitting the ball extremely hard. And they're playing that game in Tampa Bay, which we all know is a minor league ballpark. I think it's 325 there to right field. I think Gunnar's due for one. Like I said, he's been mashing the baseball. All he's going to do is send one of those big flies, 330-plus yards, and I think Gunnar will hit there. And then James Wood. Like I said, 2 home runs in his last 5 games. He has been swinging a very hot bat, one of the best outfielders in all of baseball this season. The Nationals are facing the Colorado Rockies. They are also on a 10-game losing streak. It might be 11, but the Nationals need a win, and that'll come on the bat of James Wood today. They face Germán Marquez, who has been very, very poor for the Colorado Rockies this season.
That's put it nicely.
Yeah. Man, you could even go as far as putrid. I mean, but when you're pitching in Coors Field, most of these pitchers are putrid, besides Chase Dollander, my Tennessee Vol, of course. But Marquez has been really bad this season. He's also had an ERA in the first inning of 11.07, which moves me over to my second bet. I got a Yerfie.
Uh-oh.
Not a Nerfie, a Yerfie. For those who don't know what a Yerfie stands for, if you know what a Nerfie stands for, I think you could figure it out. But it's a yes run first inning. So you're essentially rooting for a run to be scored in the first inning. And this game starts at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time, about 21 minutes. Nationals-Rockies Yerfie at minus 130. The Nerfie is plus 100. So Vegas kind of indicates that it's more than likely that a first inning run is going to be scored here, and I have my reasoning. It's Mitchell Parker versus Germán Marquez. Mitchell Parker has an 80% Yerfie rate in his last 5 games, meaning that he has given up a first inning run in 4 out of his last 5. Germán Marquez, like I just said, he has a first inning ERA of 11.07 this season, which is putrid. I don't care if you pitch at Coors. Seems like this guy gets hit hard in every first inning this season. He also has to face James Wood, who I think is going to go yard on him. Germán Marquez is a righty. James Wood mashes righties. The Nationals have also been slumping. I think they are due for a good first inning against a very, very bad Rockies team. So those are 2 picks. And then I have another one here. This is a pitcher. I bet on him last week. It didn't really go over too well, but I'm going back to the well. Kris Bubic. I got his under 1.5 earned runs at plus 130. I like the plus odds here. They're facing the Texas Rangers, who really struggle against left-handed pitching on the season. Texas is ranked 29th in WRC Plus versus left-handed pitching this season. For those who don't know what WRC Plus stands for, it's basically an advanced runs created metric. So it accounts into base runners, how often you walk, hard contact. It's one of those advanced stats that I really, really look at when trying to indicate what action I want to place. Chris Bubic has also been fantastic all season long. He has gone under this 1.5 earned runs mark in 16 out of his last 20 games. I had to double check that because I didn't even think it was legit, but it was. Bubic has been that good this season, and dating back to last season as well, he's been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. I really, really like Bubic to have a nice, lengthy outing. I was going to look at his over 17.5 pitcher outs, but that was at minus 150. And I know that if John was here, he would be, oh, you're taking a minus 150 back. You're a loser. Why are you doing all that? So I said, all right, you know what? Screw John. He might be listening to this for all we know. But I'm taking a nice little juicy plus 130 here, hoping that Bubic can bounce back after that poor start that we bet on him last week against the New York Yankees, or else he is on the banned list.
Well, we call that the graveyard on the show,
which
Tyler.
we also have to update. Or
we do need to update.
I have to update.
We do need to update. Currently, the graveyard resides with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that was given a couple of rounds ago by John. I put the Minnesota Timberwolves in the graveyard in the Western Conference Finals, and then down the way is Buddy Hield.
What's Buddy Hield doing there?
Just two teams and Buddy Hield. So we'll have to add a couple members to the graveyard here soon. But go ahead and continue.
Well, that's all for me. I got 3 plays today. One is that long shot parlay with Gunnar Henderson and James Wood at plus 2,360 odds. Yeah, pretty juicy. Just put a little fiver on it, 5 to win, I think like 116. Hoping that flips over my account balance a little bit on its head.
There you go.
And then, yeah, to wrap it up, I got the Nationals-Rockies Yerfie at minus 130. We want to run in the first inning, folks. I've been a lot of nerfies. I don't want you to accidentally hit on that N. I want you to hit on that Y. So, yes, run first inning at minus 130. That game starts in about 15 minutes. And then I got Chris Bubic under 1.5 earned runs. That game starts at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. Max, what do you make of those picks?
Yeah, we're actually, when I get to my segment, he's on to something with Chris Bubic. Very underrated pitcher in baseball. And I like your Yerfie on Washington, Colorado. Mitchell Parker, guy that started out the year really well. Mm-hmm. Through April, he was really throwing the ball well. Since then, it's been really bad. He actually reminds me kind of Patrick Corbin of the last few Nationals teams. A guy that I've enjoyed fading the last few weeks. And German Marquez, I mean, he's thrown batting practice out there pretty much. So really like that play. I see it actually as in a rain delay, so hopefully they find a way to get that game started. And we can cash that before it's too late. But, yes, I really like you got two guys with the combined ERA in the 11s. Can't go wrong with that.
All right, now time for the return of Max Out Your Winnings. Some MLB, a little College World Series as well. Let's dive into it. Max Out Your Winnings. Max, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, William. So starting off in the College World Series in Omaha, I heard you mention last night you gave out an under.
Yes.
I'm following your footsteps. LSU, Arkansas, under 11. 4 matchups this year, that game has gone under or pushed this number 3 of the 4 times. Bigger park, lower scoring. The games in Omaha this year have been really low scoring.
Yeah.
Games to the total of 11 in this matchup, games so far in Omaha are 6-2 and 2 to that number, going under. So big park, we've seen it. It's been difficult for hitters to really get out of the yard, tack on a lot of runs. These are really good pitching staffs. They're going to throw, especially Arkansas, back against the wall. They're going to throw whoever they have to. So a Zach Root, a Gage Wood, they might not be available, but if things get dire, there's no tomorrow. So they're going to throw the best arms they have. They're going to push them maybe more pitches than they usually would in this situation. So I like that in their advantage. They're going to have a quicker hook as well because they know they can't afford for this game to get out of hand. And then when it comes to LSU, they have a really good staff. Ianson might go tonight, and if he does, he's one of the probably 5 or 6 best pitchers in college baseball. You'd really like the under there, even if it's only a few innings. So you combine the park. These teams' previous matchups, their game earlier last week went under easily as well. So I just think it's a perfect recipe for under 11, and that part, the way it's played so far this tournament, has been advantageous for unders. Second bet, Phillies minus 1.5. You can get that at plus 100 right now. Ranger Suarez, 5-1, 2.32 ERA on the year. Lifetime against the Miami Marlins, a sub 3.3 ERA. This is a Marlins team that has really struggled to hit the ball, really struggled to pitch the ball, just a bad ball club in general. And Philadelphia playing good baseball as of late. Ranger Suarez has been really pitching the ball well this year. I think it matches up well for him, especially considering for Miami, Adam Mazur is going. This will be his big league debut this season. He made 8 starts last year for San Diego to the tune of a 7.49 ERA. Really struggled for them in AAA this year. Not a whole lot better, an ERA north of 4, a whip above 1.2. So this is a guy that just doesn't have a track record of being a good professional pitcher, and you can't get away with that against a lineup like the Phillies. And I kind of just see a combination here where Mazur gets hit by this Phillies lineup. Suarez continues his hot stretch in his really good season, especially his career numbers against Miami, and they cover the 1.5. Finally, like Tyler mentioned, Royals, Rangers, I have under 8. I think Bubic pitches well, and then I'm just banking on this is a Royals lineup that has really struggled. Both these offenses are bottom 5 in runs scored in baseball as well as OPS. So these are teams that have really struggled to hit the ball. They've both also struggled against left-handed pitching, with Patrick Corbin going for Texas today. He has not allowed more than 3 runs in a start all year. So if you can bank on that, maybe the bullpen gives up 1, and then you take Bubic. You're looking for the Royals would need to give up 3 or 4 runs probably. I just don't see it with these two struggling offenses, good pitchers, guys that have really thrown the ball well this year, especially Chris Bubic on the road. He has been phenomenal all season, but a sub 1.5 ERA on the road, this game being played in Arlington. I like the under 8 there. So it's under 8 in Royals Rangers, Phillies minus 1.5, LSU Arkansas under 11.
Tyler, MLB guy, what do you make of that?
Yeah, really like all of Max's analysis here. And I was also just looking, too, because when I was looking at that Rangers-Royals game, I was trying to make if I wanted to bet on a money line of one of the teams or not. But, yeah, I mean, the under at 8, it seems like one of those games where it can just be, 3-1. Royals are winning, hand it over to their bullpen.
A lot of Royals games have been like that this year.
Yeah, and they hand it over to their bullpen, and they do their job. But I'm actually looking here. I'm looking at a parlay. It's the under 8 and a nerfy. A no-run first inning. You can get that at plus 185. I think I might sprinkle a little bit on that, too. I think Bubic is going to handle business. I think he's due for a bounce-back start. He's just been so consistent this season outside of a couple of those blow-up starts. But I think he'll really, really get back to form here. And I honestly might dabble a little bit on that no-run first inning as well.
I want to circle back to the College World Series because before the action got underway in Omaha, we looked at the slate of futures, and Coastal Carolina was one of those teams that stuck out to me, riding a very long win streak. I think at the time, heading into Omaha, it was 23, 24, 25 games, and they're coming off a very, very impressive weekend at Auburn at the time. And now, when you look at the odds provided by VIP Play, LSU, the favorite at plus 130, Coastal Carolina right behind them at plus 140, and Arkansas, the original favorite heading into Omaha, now plus 350. And I thought there was great value on a team like Coastal at plus 650 when it came out. And I talked about Oregon State, a team that had to travel throughout the season, not really being fazed by having to go on the road in Omaha. I looked at a team like Louisville as well, but my two teams really were Coastal Carolina and Oregon State. Now we're down to about 3 teams, and Coastal Carolina still very much in play here. But what I think is interesting is that they're only just marginally behind a team like LSU that I think on paper is more talented, obviously has had a stronger schedule. Is there any value in taking a team like Coastal Carolina up against one of these SEC giants, or would you rather take these SEC teams that have had to go through basically a gauntlet of SEC play throughout the conference and have also made it to this point in Omaha? Obviously, Coastal Carolina won in 2016, but teams like LSU, Arkansas, a little bit more familiar with postseason play and don't have a brand new coach like the Chanticleers do.
Yeah, I took Coastal Carolina plus 650 at the start of the College World Series. I did not take them at the start of the tournament. Wish I had. But no, I think that's a team that very well reflected in the odds. We saw they went to Auburn, a good SEC team, a nationally ranked seed. They won easily. They swept them. So this is a team also, both their top pitchers are guys that would be top arms at Tennessee. They would be top arms at Auburn. Really, any program in the country, those guys would be weekend starters. So they have the arms. The way they were able to get through their side of the bracket as well without having to play an extra game because they took care of Louisville today, that lines up their rotation exactly how they'd like. Their Friday guy will go game 1, Saturday guy will go game 2, and so forth. So I really think it lines up well for them. A team like LSU, if they lose tonight and have to play tomorrow, that could throw their pitching all out of whack as well. I just think Coastal Carolina, they've won 26 straight games. They have dominated this tournament. They're the only team left in the field that has not lost a game in this tournament yet, and that's come against teams like Oregon State that are nationally ranked, a team like Auburn, a team like Florida. So this is a team that I really just think, maybe how we kind of looked at Houston basketball or Gonzaga basketball, where people will be a little hesitant, and then they'd have to prove it to someone that, no, this is a team that should be in the Final Four, belongs here, and are just as good as the Dukes and the North Carolinas. I kind of view this Coastal Carolina baseball team that way, where, the name you might think they're this pesky underdog, when in reality I think they're just as good, especially on the pitching side, as an LSU or an Arkansas. And actually, one note about those odds, I think Arkansas plus 350 is a little bit of a donation because you're banking on them needing to win 2 games in a row against LSU, and on top of that, beating Coastal Carolina 2 out of 3 games. I think, if you're an Arkansas believer, I'd wait to take that probably till you get to the series, or at least they win tonight. But no, your point about Coastal Carolina, I think that's a team that totally belongs. They can hang with any of these teams. They proved it in Auburn as well.
When we look at tonight's game, Arkansas minus 152 on the money line, courtesy of VIP Play. LSU at plus 118. Now, as you were mentioning, there's a little bit more of, more at
stake for Arkansas.
More at stake for Arkansas, the better way to put it. And do you believe that they could possibly get to the championship series? Do you think it's possible they can beat LSU 2 games in a row? Do you think that's doable for them?
I think it's possible. I think it's difficult, especially considering LSU has the rest factor, and LSU beat them the first time around. Arkansas is, they were the favorite coming into this tournament for a reason. LSU not far behind. I think the difficult thing, with backing a team tonight is, like you mentioned, there's more at stake for Arkansas. If LSU is in a situation where they fall down 5-0, they might mail it in because they know we got to prepare for tomorrow. Arkansas has got to keep their foot on the gas. They have to win tonight to keep their season going. So I think that's reflected a little bit in the odds as well, because they know Arkansas is going to throw the kitchen sink at LSU if they have to. LSU might punt a little bit late. I think Arkansas is talented enough to win 2 in a row. I would be surprised if they did it, just considering how good LSU's been this tournament, how good their pitching is. And I think, it's neck and neck, and asking a team to win 2 in a row against a team that's just as good as them is difficult.
Most definitely. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that one tonight. A dominant performance from Coastal Carolina early. Came out in that first inning, 6 runs, and really never looked back as they defeat and send Louisville home, winning 11-3. But a fun SEC matchup tonight between the Tigers and the Razorbacks. We'll now switch over to the NBA, but before we do that, let me tell you about the VIP Players Club sweepstakes. Every bet you make on VIP Play gets you entries into the VIP Players Club sweepstakes. You'll earn 1 entry per bet, 1 entry per dollar bet, and 10 times your entries on parlays and same-game parlays. The initial contest ends June 30th. Subsequent contest will be monthly. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. All right, let's move over to the NBA Finals as Game 6 is quickly approaching. Confident and tested as they've been, the infatigable Indiana Pacers look to be on ropes for Thursday night's action. The Oklahoma City Thunder enter the corn maze, as I've called it, as all the fans are lined up in their yellow shirts with a 3-2 series
and it's
lead.
Indiana.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. Yes. So a little play on words there. Yes. With a 3-2 series lead and improved odds to win it all in Game 6. Tyrese Halliburton suffered a calf strain in Monday's loss and is expected to be listed as questionable for the game, but did participate in shoot-around on Wednesday. With or without him, the Pacers must summon their best ball to extend the NBA Finals. And we look at the odds provided by VIP Play. The money line, Oklahoma City minus 245, Indiana plus 200. Oklahoma City a 6.5 point favorite. And it is interesting to note, important to note, I should say, pre-Halliburton news, this was a 4.5 point spread. So it has jumped 2 whole points since the Halliburton question of injury has been placed into this game. The total 222.5. Which is the lowest total so far in this series, where we've seen a trend of unders. Now, last game did go over. We cashed that one together, but the under has been a strong, strong side throughout. And we'll get into, do the Pacers have any chance without Tyrese Halliburton in this game? And my big reason of why I say no is because Tyrese Halliburton is the motor for this offense. The way the Pacers like to play, no pun intended, is with pace. And that is getting out in transition offensively, rim running with guys like Obi Toppin, having guys like Miles Turner trailing for a quick pop-out three, or a Benedict Mathurin or Aaron Nesmith diving into the corner looking for an open opportunity there. And going up against this Thunder team, it is difficult for them to do that because of how good Oklahoma City is in transition defense. But the guy that facilitates all of that is Tyrese Halliburton. And Andrew Nembhard is a really good secondary ball handler, and he's a good primary ball handler in the regular season. But in the postseason, up against this very, very good defense for Oklahoma City, he's not the guy that's going to be able to facilitate this offense correctly. And you saw that in Game 5 when Oklahoma City in the fourth quarter started putting a ton of pressure on Nembhard. 3 consecutive turnovers and a 2-point game quickly turned into an 11-point game and a timeout, and that was never another question of who was going to win that game. T.J. McConnell has become the fun little white guy that runs around the court in this NBA Finals.
He's this year's Dellavedova.
He is. I mean, yeah, J.J. Barea, as Jeremy compared him yesterday. We had J.J. Barea comparisons, Matthew Dellavedova, another good one.
Mario Chalmers.
Oh, I don't know about
Cole.
Mario Chalmers.
Norris Cole.
There we go, Norris Cole. I like that one. Mario Chalmers.
Because Mario started.
Yeah.
Well, Norris got a couple starts in those playoff series.
Yeah, I guess
back in the day.
And T.J. McConnell's not an unknown if you watch college basketball, but I guess in terms of the NBA landscape, a guy that's kind of been towards the back burner of the rotation, has come on really strong in this series, and it's crazy that the Thunder, as good as they are defensively, have let T.J. McConnell, little white guy T.J. McConnell, pop off 2 times in the last 3 games. But all of that to say, Halliburton runs this offense and has been the motor of this team throughout this season. I don't think they're going to be able to find that without him out on the court. And as much criticism as I have given him throughout this postseason, in particular these finals, for not being aggressive as a scorer, what he does do is facilitate and runs this offense as a playmaker, to where if he's not on the court at all, I find it really, really difficult for the Pacers to find a way to win here. Tyler, we've been talking about it all week. Is it possible, if Halliburton doesn't play, to not only win but try and cover that 6.5?
Yeah, I think it'll be hard to... It's tricky because I can't rule the Pacers out, even if they don't have Hallie, even if they do have Hallie. If they did have Hallie, I mean, yeah, the Thunder were still 4.5-point favorites, but without, you would think that if the Thunder didn't have Shea, right, and the Pacers had Halliburton, that would be a bigger jump than just 2 points on the point spread. With Halliburton, the fact that they went from plus 4.5 to plus 6.5 indicates that, Vegas thinks the Pacers still have a fighting chance, and I think they do too. It's super hard to rule this team out. They're so gritty, they're tough, they're dedicated, they played the game the right way. It's just a matter of talent on the court, and do the Pacers have enough talent to outduel the Thunder in this pivotal Game 6 at home? I don't think they have enough talent. However, I do think that they could have the correct game plan in place. You know that Shea's going to get you at least 25 to 30. You just have to hope that you can eliminate the other guys on their team. If Shea goes for 50 and you lose by 10, then so be it. But you can't let J-Dub have that 40-point game again. You got to keep on eliminating Chet. Force him to shoot those threes. Keep Hartenstein out the game. It's tough. It'll be tough for Indiana to win, but I think I'm the most optimistic person in this room about Indiana winning that Game 6, and I'm going to stand on that. I think they definitely have a chance, but it'll certainly be tough.
Yeah, I think you make a good point about the line only jumping 2 points and 6.5, signifying, hey, this Game 5, Vegas really thought Indiana didn't have a chance. Games 1 and 2, same way. I get what you're saying, and I do think there is something that's almost unquantifiable about this Pacers team where every time we've thought, okay, that's it, whether it's in Game 1 of the Knicks series or Game 1 of this series, kind of seemed like every time, all right, it's the wheels are kind of coming off here. They have found a way to win. They have found a way to rally, and that's hard to quantify and really put into words analytically, statistically. So I am taking that in mind. I do agree with you, William. I think we saw last game, Game 5, Halliburton really struggled. Didn't make a shot from the field. And what happened? They really couldn't be competitive for 4 quarters. They went on a few runs, but it never felt like that game was within reach for Indiana seriously. So how are they going to do that with him out the whole game if he is? I struggle to see a way that it happens. I think it'd take an off shooting night from Oklahoma City. Maybe you find a way to get Chet and Hardenstein into foul trouble a little bit, use Turner and Siakam more, exploit that matchup. I think you need a game where a Nesmith or a Nembhard really gets hot from deep and kind of buoys the offense and makes up for the lack of Halliburton and maybe a lack of creation because of losing their point guard. But I think the really difficult thing for me is they don't have a good ball handler outside of Halliburton. And even with him, Oklahoma City has turned them over a lot. Without that steadying presence, I really struggle to see a way that those turnovers don't even inflate further. And they've really been the Achilles heel for them this whole series. It's what's held them back. You mentioned Game 5 in the fourth quarter. That's what did them in. It's what's done them in. Anytime Oklahoma City's gone on a run, it's been because of Indiana turnovers. With Halliburton out, I don't see how that doesn't exacerbate that issue.
Another thing here, and Max, you were talking about this with obviously Halliburton having a putrid game in Game 5. Terrible. Horrible. I mean, I don't even know how you could describe it into words. I don't think horrible, putrid, disgusting.
You like that putrid word today. You like that putrid word.
I don't know why. Putrid kind of is just like sticking with me today. I don't know what it is. But Halliburton, minus 13 plus minus in Game 5. McConnell, +4 plus minus in Game 5. Is it crazy to say that even if Tyrese didn't play in that Game 5, it would have given the Pacers a better chance to win that Game 5 if he wasn't even on the court with that minus 13 plus minus, going 0 for 6 from the field? Sure, he put in, 6 assists, but he had 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. You can't have an assist turnover rate of 2. It's tough for me to justify Halliburton really making that big and having that much of an impact in this Game 6, injured or not injured. I just don't know how much of a better team in this series specifically. I'm not saying the Pacers as a whole throughout the 82-game series aren't better with Halliburton on the court, because they are better when he's on the court. But it seems like this series, it's not as obvious that they're so much better when Hallie's on the court, injured or not injured.
Well, I would say in Game 5, I could get around that. Now, I would disagree the rest of the way. What he does offensively in terms of setting things up, I think, is really, really valuable. Not necessarily a number can signify that. But the version that we're talking about, yes, I can get around.
As of right now. Sure.
And especially if he plays in Game 6, and everyone now publicly knows he's not 100%, and it was a little bit more serious than many people thought. Now that creates an advantage for the Thunder defensively and how they defend him. Because now, instead of rushing to go over screens and fighting to, get in position to defend him correctly, they might try and play the position of, okay, let's make sure we're defending the role players, like, in the pick and roll. We're defending the role player better, so we can't allow for a pick out or a rim run to the basket, stuff like that. So I think that could play into a disadvantage for the Pacers. And Rick Carlisle came out today and said that they're planning as if Halliburton will not be available. So they're going to play both ways here. They're going to try and play the way they've been playing all season if Halliburton does play, but they're also preparing for the worst if he's not able to go. You mentioned, kind of that fourth quarter, Max, and talking about McConnell, and you mentioned McConnell as well. Again, McConnell has been great in this series, but it's more of a pop. It's more of a change in pace, something here and there. 48 minutes, I don't think T.J. McConnell's going to.
Careful what you wish for.
Exactly. So, like in the fourth quarter of Game 5, I thought that they should have gone back to McConnell earlier, especially as Nebhard had a couple of really bad turnovers. And I think he's a good enough ball handler to be able to facilitate, throughout the regular season and in parts during this postseason. But when you now get the number one assignment for the best defense historically we've seen in a long time in Oklahoma City, you're going to be forced into a lot of tough positions like Andrew Nebhard was. I like what you said. Be careful what you wish for, because as good as McConnell has been, I don't know if Pacers fans are mentally prepared for 30 minutes of TJ McConnell if that's what you have to do at point guard, or Andrew Nebhard for 30-plus minutes at point guard as well. The two guys I think that could save the day for the Pacers are, one of them, it was an X factor that I had coming into the series, was Aaron Nesmith, a guy that has had a ton of big moments throughout the postseason, had a really, really brilliant performance from the three-point line against the New York Knicks and that just historic Game 1 comeback in the Eastern Conference Finals. If he's able to get into the 20s and you're able to get an efficient night from Pascal Siakam, Obi Toppin continues to play at the level he has, then I could see it being a closer game. But you're now having to rely on some guys that don't have favorable matchups in this series to be a big-time producer. So Aaron Nesmith is one of them. The second guy is Benedict Mathurin, and he's been hot and cold as well. But Mathurin showed you what he can be at his best in Game 3. And I love Mathurin because he was a number 6 overall pick a couple of years back, was a starter for half this season. Nesmith gets back into the mix, and he's back on the bench. He didn't pout about it. He didn't go to the social media about it. Didn't talk about it in the press conference. He accepted his role. Credit to Rick Carlisle for kind of implementing this culture in Indiana. But Mathurin's a guy that if Halliburton isn't able to play, he's got to be big as well. So I look at those two guys, Nesmith and Mathurin, to be a big impact. Real quick, before we head to the break, the Thunder, on the other hand, in terms of against the spread, have been horrible on the road, or to borrow a word from Tyler, putrid. On the road. Only have won one game on the road this year in terms of against the spread. Now, they have won games. They beat Memphis a couple of times, but in one of those games, they were a 15.5-point favorite and beat them by 2. So they have not been good on the road against the spread, and they're 6.5-point favorites in a winner-go-home spot for Indiana. Are you willing to back the Thunder at more than a possession on the road, given their against-the-spread history? I feel like in this spot, if Halliburton's not able to go, it would be different than every other game they played in the postseason outside of Game 4 in Memphis when Morant was injured. But other than that, I feel like this is something we haven't really seen from them, and they're also one game away from winning the NBA Finals. I feel like we'll see a different energy from them. I'm still willing to take it, but gambling people out there, I'd be weary of how they perform so far on the road.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. They have struggled on the road, and you mentioned them being one win away. That can work for and against you as well. I think something that will really decide the outcome, whether Halliburton's on the court or not, and one thing I wanted to hit on Halliburton, we also don't know if he's healthy. Do you get him for 35 minutes, or is he just giving you 15? And that's something Rick Carlisle would have to weigh when he decides, do we want this guy to be active tonight or not? But I think with the Thunder, the first half is what will dictate, in my opinion, if they cover this or not. They get out to a big lead, take the crowd out of it. It's going to be really difficult for Indiana to find a way to come back in that game. I think Oklahoma City will taste it and really put their foot on the gas. But if Oklahoma City falls down 12 at halftime, 8 at halftime, that place is going to be a lot louder. I think the energy, the sense of urgency might get to them a little bit. I really think in a game like this, on the road, playoff basketball, especially being one win away, a good first half or a bad first half will really dictate the outcome of Game 6.
All right, good stuff. When we come back on the other side, it's our best bets of the night. Stay right here. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Are you ready to show off that confident, radiant smile you've always dreamed of? Well, here at Knoxville Smiles, we're ready to turn your dream into a reality. At Knoxville Smiles, we're more than just a dental practice. We're your partners in achieving optimum oral health. From routine cleanings and checkups to advanced cosmetics and restorative procedures, we offer a wide range of services in an environment that makes every visit a positive and comfortable experience. At Knoxville Smiles, it's about more than just treatments. We're focused on creating a welcoming environment where you feel like family. Our state-of-the-art facilities are designed with your comfort in mind, and our friendly staff is always ready to address your questions and concerns. Don't wait any longer to achieve a beautiful smile you deserve. Schedule your appointment at Knoxville Smiles today and take that first step towards a healthier, happier you. Call us at 865-539-1776 to book your appointment today, or just visit our website at knoxvillesmiles.com.
105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Online at fanrunradio.com and streaming on the free Fan Run Radio app. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the C&B Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at C&B has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Feel this. America got a thing for the skinks. They love me. Black Chuckers, Black Scully, leather Pele. I take spit over rainbow.
All right, back here on the Slate, presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us. Now time to wrap things up with our best bets of the night. We'll begin with Tyler. Tyler, take it away.
Yep, gonna recap here. I already said which plays I like tonight. Got Chris Bubich under 1.5 earned runs. So ultimately, you're just hoping for a shutout or a one-run baseball. Those odds are at plus 130. I'll restate my analysis here. The Rangers, they've really struggled against left-handed pitching this season with a 29th ranked WRC plus against lefties on the season. Bubich has also hit this mark in 16 out of his last 20 games. Like I said, I had to double-check to make sure that was accurate, but he's been that good dating back to the end of last season. I love the spot here, especially with the plus odds. I think Bubich is due to have a bounce-back start after a very putrid one against the Yankees last week. My other bet that I had here, I got the Nationals and Rockies Yerfy. Yes, run first inning at minus 130. Max said that this game was in a rain delay, and checking here, it still is in a rain delay, sadly. So
we're not. It's a good thing for people listening just now. They can get in and place it.
Exactly.
They would have missed it.
Exactly. However, it would have been pretty nice, though, if we had another on-air winner on back-to-back days, but you can't get everything that you wish for. But yeah, that's at minus 130. And I honestly think that the rain is going to play towards this bet's advantage. Pitchers' hands might be a little bit slippery. They might not have their best stuff. Herman Marquez could hang another one of those famous meatballs that he'd be serving on a platter for James Wood to hit a home run. And then that would be one leg of my anytime home run bet, which is my final play of the day. I got James Wood and Gunnar Henderson both to hit a home run at plus 2,360 odds. The Orioles, they play at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. I like Gunnar here. I think he can hit one of those deep fly outs that would be a home run in Hal Steinbrenner Stadium. So, yeah, those are my three plays for the day. Hoping to get Bubich and that Yerfy right, and then maybe, fingers crossed, we get that anytime home run parlay.
All right, good stuff. Max?
Yeah, I'll fire off real Real quick here, this game is taking place in 5 minutes, I believe, so get it in quickly. LSU Arkansas under 11 tonight from Omaha. We mentioned it. This park has been really conducive to unders so far this year. Both these teams have met 4 times this year. 3 of the 4, this number has gone under as well. I like Phillies -1.5. That game has already begun. 0-0 after one, so you might be able to get it live at a little better value than you did pregame. And then finally, piggybacking on Tyler here, Royals Rangers under 8. He laid it out. Chris Bubich been really good for them, especially on the road. And these are 2 offenses, both pretty much in all metrics, bottom 5 in baseball against 2 starting pitchers that have been better, if not good, this season. So I like Royals Rangers under 8, Phillies -1.5, LSU Arkansas under 11. Let's at least try for 2-1 tonight, William.
All right, good stuff. Those are our best bets of the night. No official plays for me. I'll be back tomorrow with a heavy slate for the NBA Finals. But that's going to wrap it up for a Wednesday edition of the Slate presented by VIP Play. Make sure to go claim your bonus bets by using code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps to get in on the action. For Max Pennell, Tyler Barbaras, I'm William Pattison. We'll see you same time tomorrow, 6 to 7, right here on Fan Run Radio.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referrals